influence. Okay, we start this hour in the United States, and the US has carried out an airstrike against Islamic State in northwest Nigeria at the request of Nigeria's government. President Donald Trump and the US military confirmed the strike on Thursday, saying the group had been targeting Christians in the region. Nigeria's foreign ministry confirmed the operation a day later, describing it as part of ongoing security cooperation with international partners, including the United States. US Africa Command said the strike killed multiple ISIS militants and took place in what it called Sokoto State, an apparent reference to Sokoto State in northwest Nigeria. Now, the operation follows months of warnings from Trump, who has said Christianity faces an existential threat in the country and has criticized the government's handling of militant violence. Nigeria, however, says armed groups target both Christians and Muslims and that the conflict reflects a complex security challenge. Both governments say cooperation will continue as Nigeria works to counter militant groups across the country. Joining us now is Matthew Verdum. He is an American journalist and he joins us live from the American capital of Washington. Thank you very much for joining us here on NewsX World. Of course, Donald Trump's tussle with Nigeria and its government has been lasted quite a few months now. However, what was not seemingly on the cards was Trump working with the Nigerian government and striking what he alleges are ISIS militants in the northwest of the country. What does this say about Donald Trump's foreign policy strategy, Matthew?
Well, it suggests that he's serious about eradicating ISIS, also known as Islamic State, which we thought was previously eradicated during his first term, but it started to reemerge. So he's serious about countering this Islamist terrorist threat. I'm not entirely certain, though, why these attacks were in the northwest part of Nigeria, because I thought I thought that most of the Christian persecution, the killings of Christians, were taking place in the so-called middle belt of Nigeria. Muslims are concentrated in the north of Nigeria, as I'm sure you know, and Christians are concentrated in the south. But the killings have been largely taking place in the so-called middle belt, largely perpetrated by a group that I think works with ISIS but isn't ISIS. You see, there's many different terrorist groups and factions in Nigeria, all sorts of little splinter groups all over the place. And I thought the one doing most of the killing of Christians was called the Fulani ethnic militia. So we don't know exactly what the extent of these attacks were. So maybe the Fulani ethnic militia was somehow targeted as well. But it sounds like President Trump is serious about doing something to prevent the mass slaughter of Christians that has been taking place in Nigeria for quite some time now.
Indeed, Matthew. And of course, as you said, we don't really know that much about how the strike was carried out or how many people have died, etc. Those details are yet to be released. However, what we do know is that Donald Trump, of course, has had a problem with the Christian narrative in particular. We know that America, of course, is a secular country. What are your thoughts in how he's homed in on the religious aspect here and voicing that about Nigeria?
I think it reflects, pressure from his political base to do something about it. I know that there are good American nonprofits like Equipping the Persecuted, it's called, that are trying to raise awareness about Christian persecution in Nigeria. And that over the last few weeks in particular, their message has really caught on. The message that Christians are being slaughtered en masse in Nigeria has really caught on, whereas before it was sort of like in the background. People occasionally talked about Boko Haram and Didn't they kidnap a whole bunch of girls when young schoolgirls when Obama was president? You know, apart from that, people don't talk about Nigeria very much. It wasn't on the radar, but in the last few weeks or months, suddenly it's gotten on the radar. It's gotten President Trump's attention, and he wants to do something about it. Now, whether we don't, you said and I said, it's not clear that he's hitting. He hit Islamic State, but I'm not sure that those are the right people to hit. Now, it is also true that there are some out of the plethora of terrorist groups in Nigeria. Some are upset with Muslims for not being radical enough, and they attack other Muslims. But I don't think that's where most of the killings have been taking place. It's largely been attacks on Christian villages.
Indeed. Matthew, do stay with us as, of course, we bring our viewers more